Alright, it's set up.
There we go. There we go. What's going on, everybody?
All right, Steve, you want to kick us off and introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everybody, my name's Steve Benkert. You might know me as Up to Snuff, and I'm the gameplay designer for Braum. Here today with the one and only Monger, and I feel like I have to say hello and welcome.
Hello and welcome.
It's great to have you on here.
Nice to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for
Of
having
course, of course. In as much frame to and then maybe mess around with some of his command normals.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we can go into some basic strategy and a few combos, some tech,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
absolutely. Yeah, let's explore the character.
Great.
I got to play him just a little bit,
Oh,
but
did you?
I'm sure you somehow probably know a lot more than me, right?
Yeah, I
so
hope so.
I definitely want to learn from the master here.
For sure. And then at any point, if you want to, like I'll just be going through moves, but if you want to, if you have like questions, you want clarification, feel free to stop me at any time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, great. So with Braum, let's start with the heart of his specials. We'll start with his S1 special. So we have Winter's Bite. So that's going to be his stand S1. And Winter's Bite is sort of like a short-range concussive blast move. So this will be a neutral S1 for Braum.
Oh, there we go. Sorry,
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
This move doesn't have.
What does this do?
So you can see, like, if I like space it out just here, like that just is barely touching you at max range. But it has a couple unique properties. First off, it's really, really good on block. So if you just down back this, this move is extremely.
You want the audio to be increased? I think I should actually increase this. Yeah, since I can pause it anyway. What does this seem?
Extremely plus. You can make it less plus as a defender if you use retreating guard. So if you press light and medium at the same time after you block it, in retreating guard, you'll actually you won't be in as much frame disadvantage. So that's like a cool little trick as a defender.
Oh, to pushback too.
Yeah, a ton of pushback. So typically in the corner, you can't just keep doing these. You get like maybe one. You have to choose when it's the right time to use it.
Okay.
But what's really cool about this move is on hit, it'll send the opponent tumbling, which gives you access to a couple different things. So let's say I call in Darius, and tumble, you can actually hit.
Add some gain to this. Alright, let's play it again.
Hit them out of that reaction. So it's a good opportunity to get your teammate involved and call an assist. Also, if the opponent is closer to the corner, so I'm just going to slowly dash my way there, you'll put the opponent in like a wall splat.
Stun, yes, I remember that.
Yeah, the corner stumps.
It seems good.
Stand S1. Like you mentioned, just like being bigger than the opponent, but also like all of those like classic big body type moves you'd expect. Where like getting armor, maybe command grabs, huge
it's a
range.
very powerful feeling to just brush off someone's attack.
Yeah.
First time I ever saw super armor in a fighting game, I'm like, this is what I want.
I love that. So yeah, in Braum's case, we had an interesting challenge for us where we're trying to make a character who both gave that feel for the player, but also, you know, sort of fulfilled this like support role. He's protecting his teammate. He's jumping in the fray, blocking hits.
I really want to play
I'm really
Darius
excited to
Braum.
show off sort of what we've been working on for Braum. We can go to Scuttler Strand here for the stage. So I'm thinking, if you're cool with this, we would sort of just like run through the moves on the kit, go from specials to supers, look at the ultimate, and then maybe mess around with some of his command normals.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we can go into some basic strategy and a few combos, some tech, stuff like that.
Yeah, let's explore the character.
Great.
I got to play him just a little bit,
Oh,
but
did you?
I'm sure you somehow probably know a lot more than me, right?
Yeah, I
so
hope so.
I definitely want to learn from the master here.
For sure. And then at any point, if you want to, like I'll just be going through moves, but if you want to, if you have like questions, you want clarification, feel free to stop me at any time.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, great. So with Braum, let's start with the heart of his specials. We'll start with his S1 special. So we have Winter's Bite. So that's going to be his stand S1. And Winter's Bite is sort of like a short-range concussive blast move. So this would be a neutral S1 for Braum.
Oh, there we go. Sorry,
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
This move doesn't have a ton of range. So you can see, like, if I, like,
This looks kind of like a combo tool.
space it out just here, like, that just is barely touching you at max range. But it has a couple unique properties. First off, it's really, really good on block. So if you just down back this move is extremely plus. You can make it less plus as a defender if you use retreating guard. So if you press light and medium at the same time after you block it, in retreating guard, you'll actually, you won't be in as much frame disadvantage. So that's like a cool little trick as a defender.
A lot of pushback too.
Yeah, a ton of pushback. So typically in the corner, you can't just keep doing these. You get like maybe one, you have to choose when it's the right time to use it.
Okay.
But what's really cool about this move is on hit, it'll send the opponent tumbling.
Yeah.
Which
So basically, like this seems like just in a block string, use it to reset pressure, and then go for a grab or some sort of frame trap.
gives you access to a couple different things. So let's say I call in Darius and tumble, you can actually hit them out of that reaction. So it's a good opportunity. I call in Darius and tumble, you can actually hit them out of that reaction. So it's a good opportunity to get your teammate involved and call an assist. Also, if the opponent is closer to the corner, so I'm just gonna slowly dash my way there, you'll put the opponent in like a wall splat.
Stun, yes, I remember that.
Yeah, the corner slump situation. So this gives you a chance to extend.
Oh, so mid screen it's just a knockdown, give you some time to set up, but in the corner it's a combo tool. All right, or like a extender, like
A combo.
Okay.
So let's come back to the middle of the screen. But my absolute favorite part, and this is one of my like favorite two-piece attack strings in the entire game, is if you do Braum's anti-air, his crouching heavy, and if you cancel that into S1, this attack wall bounces versus airborne opponents. If you want to just give that a try real quick. Yeah, so there you get like the whole world.
but is he in range though? Seems like you need to be closer to the corner.
Whatever you want, pretty much every single move works from that, and I'll show you some more stuff as we get later on into the expose. But yeah, that's pretty much Winter's Bite. It changes in Unbreakable, but the way I want to set this up is we'll just go through his kit like at a baseline.
Yeah, I understand his Unbreakable basically changes everything along the way.
Yeah, it gets pretty different.
Yeah.
So we can we'll go through like, hey, this is the mode you'll probably be in, 50% of the time as Braum, so we can get comfortable with this, and then we can go over stuff with Unbreakable.
All right.
So let's move on from Winter's Bite to our forward S1, which is called Leap Little One. I love this move. This is one of the moves that engages with the Poros. So this is forward S1. You can tap it to shoot, to like toss a short range
Poro buddy.
Yeah, right. And you see here, it's funny too. And just
Poro Doken.
like the universe and the IP. Braum is always protecting Poros.
Yes.
Right? He's always like, he's got their back, and in our game, they get to fight alongside him.
He summons the Poro in Runeterra.
Yeah.
I play Braum deck.
Doken.
Yeah, and the Runeterra team, they did a great job bringing the Poros to life. So if you hold forward S1 and you tap the S1 button, you'll do this shorter range Poro toss. If you hold forward S1 and you tap the S1 button, you'll do this shorter range Poro toss. But if you hold the button, it'll be you'll do this shorter range Poro toss. But if you hold forward S1 and you tap the S1 button, you'll do this shorter range Poro toss. But if you hold the button, it'll be a much longer distance.
Yeah, he's
Poro
swinging for the
toss.
fences.
Yeah, he's going hard. And we have like strict rules from the Poro Safety Committee that there can only be one Poro on screen at the same time. So if you mash forward S1, you don't get to throw the second Poro until the first one has jumped off the screen. And
He's not meant to be a zoning master,
no,
right?
no, not by any means.
Yeah.
But we found as we were sort of like building out the character, this move does let Braum, especially because like if we dash around with Braum, he's not very quick. Even like if we bring in Darius, like Darius is similarly a large character, but his movement speed is just so much greater. His wave dash is better, his run speed's better. Braum is our biggest, our slowest, our heaviest character, right? So this Poro toss, even though it doesn't do a lot of damage, and it really doesn't do too much hit stun, this is going to be an important move to sort of like leveling the playing field against those
it gives
speedsters.
them some reach.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's really cool is if you just hold up on the stick and start jumping, against airborne opponents, Oh no, so I have to time it a little bit better than that.
Oh, so I think with this is that unlike a normal projectile, the Podo can actually like hit jumps, and then you can alter the trajectory with like the charge or the held version.
Hold on, I'll just do a combo into it.
It's
instead.
live, baby. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So it actually has a lot of hits done against airborne opponents.
Yeah.
So if you're playing, let's say like Ari's like air dashing on you all the time.
Very aerial, yeah.
Then this is like a good opportunity to knock them out of the air. There'll be a ton of hits done. And if you're really quick, you can confirm that hit into an assist.
So confirming off of fireballs, off of hitting in the air. That sounds pretty nasty.
Call.
Okay.
And they can pick it up, and you get them involved in the action as well. And we're going for that a lot with Braum. We're trying to create opportunities where you're like getting your partner involved, like handshake tag is a big part of our game.
Yes.
So we want Braum to have a ton of like very easy to pick up and play moments where it's like, cool, you do the move, it's a clear opportunity for the partner to get involved.
Yeah.
And Braum is sort of like supporting as the main actor.
Now, would you say Braum is designed to be, say, easier than, say, an Ari or an Alawi?
I mean, with every fighting game character, like the skill set varies so much. We have a lot of characters, like Ari, for example, is more difficult on the hands.
Yeah.
She's going to ask you, you're doing a lot of like quick inputs, air dash.
My time with her is the hands are moving pretty quick.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. But for Braum, one of like our design pillars when we were making him for 2XKO is in the MOBA, he's not very complex when it comes to like inputs, but it requires a lot of situational awareness.
Yeah.
Knowing the right thing to do at the right time.
Yeah.
Like saving the day at precisely the right moment. So I would say he's more designed, he's difficult in that way.
Okay.
Where he kind of scales with your game knowledge. The better you understand the game, the more situations you're going to know exactly when it's the right time.
Less air dash go burr, more
Yes.
calling your shot when the right moment comes.
Yes.
Yeah,
and we'll get to this. It's more unbreakable go burr.
Yeah.
And you smash on him with your arm.
Okay, all right.
When that comes up. So Leap Little One, it's also a nice move to use sort of like as a block string filler.
Okay.
Just your opponent has to deal with it.
Oh, what?
Sort of like as a block string filler.
Okay.
Just your opponent has to deal with it in some way.
Yeah.
If it's coming towards them. So even though it doesn't do a lot of damage, it doesn't have a lot of hits done. It's a good opportunity to sort of just get them to freeze and hesitate, and Braum loves that.
All right.
So we just talked about Leap Little One. This is our smaller Poro that's going to be flying through the air.
Yeah.
But let's move on to his Crouch S1. So Fight
Mighty
Mighty One. This is his command grab.
Yeah.
This is another move. I just love the Poro moves.
Yeah.
Proof of Mongrab. I'm a huge fan.
I love the Poro. I play Poro decks in Runeterra, so yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, you're the guy to talk to then. So Crouch S1 is Fight Mighty One, and this is Braum's command grab. So he sort of unleashes this mighty call. He screams like Poro fights, and he just.
Oh, when I saw it originally, it looks kind of like a whiff animation, but it's actually a call. Like it seems jank, but no I understand.
Shouts it up into the air.
Yeah.
And there's a hitbox where he's shouting. And if it makes contact, the mighty Poro will come spinning down from the sky, bonk the opponent with the hammer. He'll high-five Braum on the way out.
Yeah.
And your opponent's briefly going to be in hit stun, long enough for you to follow up with a combo.
Okay.
And for newer players, I'd recommend just doing S2, S2. After this, if you want to try out the command grab, the Crouch S1. Yeah, you can see, so that
What's
ends up
with the
being...
freeze?
Well, it gives you the buff as well.
Yeah, so,
Wait. Oh.
yeah, you can see, so that ends up...
S2 gives the buff, but the grab only stops them for a little while. Kind of like Jamie's grabbing SF6. Wait, what were the commands? 3806. Oh.
Opponent up into the air. Mighty call sky. Being,
and it gives you the buff as well.
Yeah, so
Okay.
S2, S2 will give you the buff. And you remove that with the knockdown.
And it gives you the buff as well.
Yeah, so
Okay.
S2, S2 will give you the buff. And you remove that with the knockdown.
Okay.
Hey, why did Braum
Yeah,
go
so S2,
red?
S2 will give you the buff.
Yeah, he's red.
And you remove that with the knockdown.
Okay.
And
Wait, let me-
yeah, you can see, so that ends up being...
It gives you the buff as well.
Yeah. So
Okay.
S2 will give you the buff. And you remove that with the knockdown.
Okay.
And we'll get to Unbreakable. So
Okay.
S2 will give you the buff. And you remove that with the knockdown.
Okay.
And we'll get to Unbreakable as soon as we finish going over the specials. But yeah, so this command grab though is really important for Braum. It controls obviously a lot of his block strings. It's a huge pressure threat. You can call assists in as well. Like if you don't want Braum to continue the combo himself, you can get a teammate involved. And it has really good range. So you can actually grab people from pretty far away with Braum. Another sort of tool he has to make up for his not as strong mobility.
Yeah. So just not necessarily I'm gonna be touching you, but if I was like say a little further, oh yeah, okay, that's got some range.
Yeah. It should go a little bit even further than that. Like if I go from like here, because he lunges forward a tiny bit.
Grappler approved. That's some range zone. Okay, grappler approved.
Yeah, you can tell all your grappler buddies. So that's his Crouch S1, Fight Mighty One. And let's move on then to his next S1 special, which is the Braum Bomb, spelled like it sounds. So
Braum Bomb.
this is Braum's it's sort of like a parabola-shaped dive bomb attack onto the opponent. If you perform it jumping backwards, he'll sort of just fall on top of his shield. He'll do an elbow drop and flex on him as he's falling down. But if you do it out of a neutral jump or forward jump, you'll get a little bit of extra pump.
Okay, you get a little momentum going on there.
Yep, and this will hit opponents on the way down and when Braum lands, so it actually hits multiple times. And you may have noticed too, on that final hit, it pops the opponent up into the air.
Yeah.
So if I just toss you around a little bit, if you were to combo your opponent with that attack,
wait, what's that throw animation? That's it.
It pops the opponent up into the air.
Yeah.
So if I just toss you around a little bit, if you were to combo your opponent with that attack, you get that OT.
I don't know who expected Braum to be just this BM. I don't know. The animation just feel disrespectful. Is that right, Spice?
TG off the ground pop up. And then for Braum, he can go into supers off of that. He can call an assist. So like for Darius, let's say we'll just use his forward team here. It's like we kind of tee it up for you, like, hey, this is the moment where if you're just learning Braum, this is a great opportunity to use your assist and get your assist.
If it's just simple,
like supers off of that, you get that OTG off the ground, combo your opponent with that. So if I just toss you around a little bit, if you were to combo your opponent with that attack, you get that OTG off the ground pop up. And then for Braum, he can go into supers off of that. He can call an assist. So like for Darius, let's say we'll just use his forward team here. It's like we kind of tee it up for you, like, hey, this is the moment where if you're just learning Braum, this is a great opportunity to use your assist and get your assist.
If it's just as simple as assist call, wall bounce, and you can go from there, that's, to me, as frankly a lazy player, that's quite attractive because I don't have to try as hard. So.
Absolutely. And it's cool. If you're just learning Braum, this is so opponent with that attack. Just toss you around a little bit. If you were to combo your opponent with that attack, you get that OTG off the ground pop up. And then for Braum, he can go into supers off of that. He can call an assist. So like for Darius, let's say we'll just use his forward team here. It's like we kind of tee it up for you, like, hey, this is the moment where if you're just learning Braum, this is a great opportunity to use your assist and get your assist.
If it's just as simple as assist call, wall bounce, and you can go from there, that's, to me, as frankly a lazy player, that's quite attractive because I don't have to try as hard. So.
Absolutely. And it's cool too, because like especially if you're playing with a duo, maybe it's your first time playing together and you're trying to like feel each other out.
Oh, that'd be a great time. I think if you see that, that's obviously the layup for the second player to call their assist, all that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a couple moves on Braum's kit that kind of accomplish a similar thing. But yeah, so that's the Braum Bomb. This is pretty minus on block though, so if you block this attack, you'll have an opportunity with most of the cast. Oh, sure.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, okay.
Yep.
So like a jab punish or?
Yeah, jab punish. I think other characters, Braum doesn't quite have the range.
Oh, his range is
just most characters it's a medium punish on that, and they can hurt him pretty bad.
Oh, he's got some range on the medium. Okay.
This is pretty minus on block though. It's a kid that you're playing with a duo. Maybe it's your first time playing together, and you're trying to like feel each other out.
Oh, that'd be a great time. I think. If you see that, that's obviously the layup for the second player to call their assist, all that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a couple moves on Braum's kit that kind of accomplish a similar thing. But Yeah, so that's the Braum Bomb. This is pretty minus on block though, so if you block this attack, you'll have an opportunity with most of the cast. Oh, sure.
Like a dive kick.
Okay.
Yep. But so
it's like a jab punish, or?
Yeah, jab punish. I think other characters, Braum doesn't quite have the range.
Oh, his
for
range
it.
is
Yeah, or just most characters, it's a medium punish on that, and they can hurt him pretty bad.
Oh, he's got some range on the medium. Okay.
Yeah, the mediums, and we'll talk about this too once we get through the specials. His normals are pretty spicy.
Yeah.
So let's move past the Braum Bomb then. We can start moving on to the S2 specials.
Okay.
So Braum's S2 is Battering Ram. Pretty classic shape. He'll charge in behind the shield. This move is quick.
Yeah.
It gets to the opponent really fast. It has fast startup. It also has the trait where it nullifies projectiles and just deletes them. And I don't just mean like special move projectiles.
Yeah.
I mean supers, ultimates, like Ari's Charm. You can plow through this with Battering Ram. It deletes projectiles.
If I were to try to do his S1 super,
I wonder how good this will be on reaction. Like if the startup is fast enough for it to do it. Like some moves you have to actually use them on reaction. Some moves you can use on reaction, but some you have to be proactive with them instead of reactive. So I wonder how fast this will end up being in the end game, you know, or when the game is released.
Charging through that?
I should be able to. Actually, if you throw a Poro at me, we'll see if this deletes the Poro. Yeah, see the Poro just vanished out of existence.
Oh, no.
Now, is this the tech now that I've bypassed the cooldown? So now I can just kind of spam Poros if...
Yeah, actually.
There we go, okay.
Actually.
See, we're labbing right now live. Right,
yeah, for the viewers at home, this is a very specific Braum v. Braum mirror match tech. If you fight a Braum online, this is what you want to do. Yeah, Poro tech in the chat, absolutely. I actually didn't know that was a thing. That's really cool that we found that together.
That's why I'm the lab guy.
Yeah, absolutely. So just give Battering Ram a few tries.
All right.
Real quick. So if you just tap S2.
S2 neutral?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can also, he doesn't have a forward S2 attack, so you can do a forward S2 attack.
Oh, and you can hold it.
Yeah. So that's if you tap S2. It has decent range. It'll hit you from about round start distance. So it's a nice thing to threaten with. But if you charge it up, the range increases by a lot. And this move, Battering Ram. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's it, that's big.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge for Braum. And the frame data is way more advantageous when you charge it. You know, as you'd expect, you know, you're trading some of that startup.
Well, he's held the place for so long too, right?
Yeah. So typically when you use Battering Ram, this can be, like we're talking upwards of like 19, 20, 21 frames minus. It can be very minus.
Okay.
Very punishable. But if you charge the move, it becomes safe against most characters. And if you space it, very upwards of like 19, 20, 21 frames minus. It can be very minus when you charge it. You know, as and the frame data is way more, increases by a lot. And this move, Battering Ram, oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's it, that's big.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge for Braum. And the frame data is way more advantageous when you charge it. You know, as you'd expect, you know, you're trading some of that startup.
Well, he's held the place for so long too, right?
Yeah. So typically when you use Battering Ram, this can be, like we're talking upwards of like 19, 20, 21 frames minus. It can be very minus.
Okay.
Very punishable. But if you charge the move, it becomes safe against most characters. And if you space it well, you can actually be plus.
Okay.
So that becomes a good tool for Braum in pretty much every matchup.
All right.
Only downside though is if you charge it up.
Parry bait.
Yeah. So if your opponent is on top
too
of
obvious.
it, yeah. So you kind of have to look for your moments. And you're going to find that with a lot of Braum's attacks. It's important to sort of mix up your speeds because the opponent, if they're looking for it, they're going to have an opportunity to, you know, parry, put you on the back foot.
Now, I did see this in the trailer. Let's see if this works. So, the reward is pretty sizable if you get it. That's a very easy hit confirm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's an easy hit confirm. And then also, I think we talked about it being an anti-projectile tool before. So if you're playing, let's say you're playing Echo, and if I react really quickly to a Time Winder, plow through it, you're looking at, and Braum has a lot of health too. Echo doesn't have as much health. You're looking at maybe 35% for just knowing the right time.
So you're making him pay for being sloppy.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
A lot of health too. Echo doesn't have as much health. You're looking at maybe 35% playing Echo. And if I react really quickly to a Time Winder.
Oh, so yeah, they're emphasizing reacting with it. Alright. So it seems that the startup should be fast enough for it to do something with that consistently.
plow through it.
Yeah.
You're looking at, and Braum has a lot of health too.
Yeah,
Echo doesn't have as much health. You're looking at maybe 35% for just knowing the right time. And
so you're making him pay for being sloppy.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
So that's Battering Ram. Battering Ram, if you charge it, it's just a single, like, high translation strike. He goes pretty far. We already talked about the properties there.
Yeah.
Right? But there's one other benefit, which is Battering Ram when charged. Oh, whoopsie. Or we'll do, we'll do it in the corner. So if you charge it, the launch properties actually change. You get a really favorable juggle
So
state.
like a high, slow juggle.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's going to be really important for Braum to sort of extend his combos.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that in a little bit. Only other thing I want to talk about with this move is the charge version is just, big strike, goes really far, covers a lot of distance. We already talked about its properties. But the uncharged version, you can actually press a second time to do
And you get the buff.
his S2 special, which is called Glacier Breaker. So yeah, this move, this is a way also if they block Battering Ram, it's sort of like your last ditch effort to maybe...
Oh, so battering ram into frame trap. All right.
Like interrupt their attempt to jab you out of it.
Okay,
or
yeah.
It's still punishable on the way in, so if I do S2, let me just get rid of the buff real quick. So if you just block this, and then mash light attack. Yeah, so if I go for S2, you can jab me out of
wait,
it.
no,
But this
it's
is just
not that
another
frame
case
trap.
where if the opponent's asleep at the wheel, this attack will push Braum
Or if
out
they want to
pretty
hit
far.
bigger buttons and get straight or hit, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But if you can catch him off guard, Braum has an opportunity to become safe with S2 and push himself out. And
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
here, let's see the pushback there. Ah, okay.
Yep.
So do it one more time,
Yep.
and then down back. All right. So if you're basically asleep at the wheel and you let him get away with it, then he stole his turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he got to do one of his better block string enders with like really high potential because if he hits you, it's unbreakable, and that's a
Yeah.
big deal for Braum. But it's sort of his opportunity to really check and make sure your actions are on point.
Okay.
Yep. So that's Glacier Breaker. Let's move on to our next special. This will stand behind me. This is, in my opinion, like the move.
Yes, the
The
big
Braum
shield,
move.
right? Yeah.
So back
Patented
S2.
Braum.
I love how
Oh, you
it
hold it,
looks.
you move forward. Okay.
Yeah, so you can tap it to
Yeah.
sort of like just represent the move. But if you hold it, you will slowly move towards the opponent.
All right.
And during this time, Braum, as he's moving forward, he has unlimited hits of armor. And we're talking like,
That's a good amount of armor to have.
yeah, it's
Okay.
the best. I've talked
Yeah.
to all the armor experts across the FGC, and they said unlimited is the best.
Pretty good
number.
amount, yeah.
And it's pretty much effective in all cases. It works against jumping attacks, grounded attacks, lows.
Oh, personal, okay.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have had questions about that. Will lows counter this move? The answer
It's always
is
a weird thing about armor is usually you get your toes tapped in a lot of games and it goes away.
Yeah. But in this case, no, it's just clear unlimited hits of armor through many attacks in our game.
Okay.
But there are ways to beat it, of course. If you do stand, your back S2, you stand behind me. So throws.
So throws, yeah, fair
Throws will
enough.
beat it. And actually, while you're in this, while you're holding down back S2 for Braum,
Yeah.
pretty much everything visible on Braum is a throw hurt box. So his throw hurt box expands greatly.
Ah, so
Oh.
Yeah,
it's easier to chuck him than normal.
it's much
Okay.
easier to throw him. So yeah, don't be worried if you're someone who likes smaller, faster characters and you're like, how am I even going to get close enough to this guy? He's so
You'll have
wide."
your opportunity. Okay.
Yeah, you'll still have your opportunities. We've taken that into account. But one of the best properties about this too is stand behind me. It's a move less so for Braum by himself, and it's more of a move like, hey, this is our support move for Braum.
Because while this is live, you can still call your assist, right?
Yeah.
I would love to support the race with this.
And if I try to hit Alawi out of this attack, like she's going to be protected with Braum's shield.
Yeah, okay.
So you pretty much
So yeah, what I was thinking about is like you use the axe and wound, right? While it's actually blocked. So what if a person should not be able to actually parry and punish that? I'm thinking that. But maybe it's not true, but that's my theory so far.
gives you a free opportunity to like get your assists involved. They
Oh,
can fly-
there you
yeah,
go.
Yeah, we protected
Yeah.
each other there.
So
But
say if you have your fuse as 2x assist,
Yep.
and you have a particularly annoying assist character, Braum could just let that kind of happen all day long.
Yeah, great example for that too is like you can imagine pairing Braum with Ari.
Yeah.
And Ari's back assist, where Foxfire Rain, where she like jumps up and blasts you
Yes.
with multiple projectiles. So now Braum and Ari, that gets really nasty. Because
Yeah.
it's like, oh man, I have to deal.
Because you have to hold it, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that becomes very, very strong for Braum. And honestly, we expect that to influence a lot of team compositions. As players are like, doing with their friends or they're building out their teams. Thinking about the options this gives you.
Yeah, for me, my immediate thought was, as someone likes big characters, it's a safe way for Alawi to, maybe plant a tentacle on the field, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we know too from the
And it would be a safe way for Darius to get into his preferred range.
Rune King, like Braum and Alawi are, they have a great connection.
Yeah.
And they're two characters where you're all
Alawi a bit more into Braum maybe than one way or the other around, but yeah.
Braum, he's not the most aware guy.
Yeah, no, he doesn't see the forest with the trees.
Yeah. But it is an opportunity. It's great with projectile assists. It's great with projectile assists. It's really, really good, like you called out, with characters who want a little bit more time to set things up. I think you actually called that out in your video.
Yeah, set it
as well.
It was the first thing I thought of.
Yeah.
So.
Braum, like if you're someone who loves playing characters who are really either like set play heavy or they're going to take some time to actually get the engine running.
That's
Braum's
the
a great
thing.
person.
Even though this is the large character and there's perceptions of larger characters, in a lot of ways this can be the thinking man's move, because now you're like, I get to set up and you got to maybe deal with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even if you do just want to throw it out, if your partner is playing a really, like thinking man's character, then they can have that opportunity to shine and do the thing they want to do.
Like Alawi, now we got two tentacles on the field, right? And it was at least to me, for the most part, kind of safe for her to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, as your opponent, I'm like, oh, this is a terrible situation for me. There's a lot of tentacles. I got to spend time getting rid of these things. Yeah. And that's an option for me. There's a lot of tentacles. I got to spend time getting rid of these things. Yeah. And that's an opportunity for you to, battering ram in and
just
knock me out.
You're dealing with that, then I'm dealing with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. So one other thing I want to talk about with Stand Behind Me before we move to our next S2 special is because this is like another tap hold special move.
Yeah.
You can really influence what your opponent wants to do in neutral with this attack. Because the counterplay for it is pretty specific. It's, hey, you either have
to get close
charge,
throw. Yeah,
you have to get close and throw. You can also do a charged heavy or a level 2.
Okay.
And those moves break armor in our game. So if I think I just missed it there. But that would break your armor as Braum.
There we go. Yeah,
it'll break through it as well. But all of a sudden, if you're representing this move, I start going to options maybe I'm not using as frequently.
Yeah.
Or it starts making what I do a little bit more predictable as your opponent. And Braum recovers from it pretty fast. It has reasonable startup.
For me, any move that forces the enemy off of autopilot is an amazing move.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because it can create like uncomfortable situations for the opponent where they're like.
A lot of people, my opinion anyways, a lot of people, when they have to change the way they want to play, a lot of people just break right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's just enough, like Braum in the MOBA, he really sort of stands out as like a disruptor.
Yeah.
And someone who's going to thwart the opponent's plans while letting you do what you want to do. And this is another way that we feel like he's able to achieve that.
All right.
To that scale. So yeah, you can tap it, represent the move, get the opponent start, doing things maybe they normally wouldn't consider otherwise, and then that opens up your offense.
Yeah. So if I just flash it, then you immediately go to like charge mode.
Yep.
So I flash, and then I'll just hit you with the big normal.
Yeah.
Immediately go to like charge mode.
Yep.
So I flash, and then I'll just hit you with the. So I just flash it, and you immediately.
It's like you feint it as well, and it make people actually try to run up and throw you, but then you come out of it fast enough, and then actually gonna hit them after. That seems pretty disgusting.
Go to like charge mode.
Yep.
So I flash, and then I'll just hit you with the big normal.
Yeah. So it's just enough, to get them off their game.
Yeah, enough to like break their mental stack.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can do a couple other things with Stand Behind Me that I think are pretty exciting. For example, we have last stand assists in our game. So let's say if you were to KO Darius, it would just be Braum fighting by himself.
Yeah.
And I would gain access to Darius's last stand assist, which is way more powerful than a regular assist.
Yeah.
Those attacks, those last stand assists don't have invul or defensive properties generally.
Okay.
So you kind of have to protect your assist and give them the opportunity to unleash that big attack.
Yeah.
And nobody is better at it than Braum. So Braum is unique in that you can really freely, even when you're down a character, call your last stand assist, throw up Stand Behind Me, and give them an opportunity to land it.
To safely set up. Yeah. Okay.
So that helps a ton with Braum. So that stand behind me, this is the move I expect people to really use to like flesh out their Braum playstyle. And I imagine will
This
also
feels like a
frustrate people.
definitive move to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe if we play some matches at the end of this, you will get a chance to try it out
I'm
again.
interested in using this.
So let's move on to Braum's next S2 special. So this is Iceborne Smash. This is crouch S2, if you want to just try it out. So
right.
Braum sort of takes the shield, rips it
Low
downwards,
crush.
smashes it into the ground. If it hits the opponent clean, you'll get an unbreakable activation. You also knock them up in the air.
All right.
So you can call an assist off of this to continue a combo. Any move that gives you unbreakable is obviously like, yeah, we like that.
Yeah.
But Iceborne Smash is unique.
What I'm seeing so far is like Darius' shoulder charge acts as like a combo extender. I wonder how like other characters assist if they work as well as Darius in this situation. So if that's actually a big synergy point for Darius, bro.
In Braum's kit, where it's the only move on block that'll give Braum unbreakable. So
Okay.
if you hold down back, I do crouch S2. So now it spaces you out. I have unbreakable, and now I can threaten you with big normals with armor. But you may have noticed that the startup on this move is relatively slow.
Yeah.
So if you try and work Iceborne Smash into a block string, this is another move for Braum where the opponent's going to have like an opportunity. Oh, no worries.
More parry.
Opportunity to parry. Depending on the normal that leads into it, they might be able to jab you or hit you with a medium to knock you out of it. So I mentioned earlier that Braum's going to have a lot of like reaction checks and like, hey, are you paying attention to what I'm doing?
Exactly. Yeah.
This is one of those moves
Mental
where,
stuff.
if your opponent isn't fully on top of what you're trying to accomplish, really easy way to steal unbreakable
Okay.
from the opponent. So that's Iceborne Smash. Let's move on then to unbreakable. Yeah, if you're paying attention to what I'm doing, I mentioned that lead.
How is it
The opponent
unblocked
will,
though?
pushes you out, hold down, absolutely. Try. This is crouch S2, if you want to just try it out. So
right.
Braum sort of takes the shield, rips it downwards, smashes it into the ground. If it hits the opponent clean, you'll get an unbreakable activation. You also knock them up in the air.
All right.
So you can call an assist off of this to continue a combo. Any move that gives you unbreakable is obviously like, yeah, we like that.
Yeah.
But Iceborne Smash is unique in Braum's kit, where it's the only move on block that'll give Braum unbreakable. So if you hold down back, I do crouch S2. So now it spaces you out. I have unbreakable, and now I can threaten you with big normals with armor. But you may have noticed that the startup on this move is relatively slow.
Yeah.
So if you try and work Iceborne Smash into a block string, this is another move for Braum where the opponent's going to have like an opportunity. Oh, no worries.
More parry.
Opportunity to parry. Depending on the normal that leads into it, they might be able to jab you or hit you with a medium to knock you out of it. So I mentioned earlier that Braum's going to have a lot of.
Alright, be right back.
like reaction checks and like, hey, are you paying attention to what I'm doing?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
This is one of those moves where, yeah, if your opponent isn't fully on top of what you're trying to accomplish, really easy way to steal Unbreakable
Okay.
from the opponent. So that's Iceborne Smash. Let's move on then to our, we'll move past Shattering Spires because that's an Unbreakable only move. And we'll talk about Braum's Air S2, which is the Great Swing. This is like another sort of a neutral thwarter type move. So if you do jump S2.
Well, that's a big button.
Yeah, this is a move. So if you do jump S2.
Well, that's a big button.
Yeah, this is a big this is a big bodies special move right here. This move has a ton of reach. It can be anti-aired, so it has an extended hurt box.
All right.
When you do this move, so your opponent can sort of, if they're ready for it, they can knock you out of
Big
it.
swing.
But you just cover so much ground as the Braum player with this attack.
Oh, and it just tumbles them.
Yeah, it's similar to Winter's Bite. It'll put your opponent in a tumble reaction. Yeah, so you have a chance to extend.
All right.
If you're really quick with an assist call.
All right.
Since I'm in the corner, you'll also get the corner splat. Extend.
All right.
Winter's Bite. It'll put your opponent in a tumble reaction. Yeah, so you have a chance to extend.
All right.
If you're really quick with an assist call.
All right.
Since I'm in the corner, you'll also get the corner splat.
Oh, sorry, go back to mid-screen here for a moment.
Yeah, sure.
I just want to see here, so... Okay,
Yeah, so you can start piecing together combos. And if you catch it really early, if you can hold the assist button, have them run.
Wait, so could Braum do Great Swing into theirs extending with his assist? Like, it's either the shoulder charge or the axe swing. So,
In,
Yeah, have him run in.
and then you'll get a more favorable hit.
Not too long.
Yeah, not too long. If you do maybe her forward assist.
There we go, yeah.
Yeah. And then her assist that summons a tentacle. That'll pump me up in the air actually. Oh. See, I ran under you there.
Well, too close.
Yeah, so that was close. So the timing's still kind of tight.
Yeah. So it's going to depend like assist to assist too, right? Like
Yeah,
certain will be better
100%.
than others, yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of people on our team, they love playing Braum with Echo.
Yeah.
Because Echo, he has a really, really quick attack that covers a lot of
Yes,
ground.
yes.
On his forward assist. So that's a really, really strong option for Braum. One thing worth noting about the Great Swing is that if I try and combo this, you notice that that's a black beat combo.
Yeah,
Right there.
okay.
So that doesn't work on its own. Braum has very specific attacks. So his crouch heavy target combo, a couple of his other target combos, they are, and his air charge heavy as well. Oh, I just missed it there. Let me try again. Oh, whoopsie. Oh, I think I'm just saying it too early.
It's all good, man. It happens to that.
I know. Oh no. Oh, okay. I'll show you a little bit later. But his air charge heavy, the timing's a little bit tight. But that's another move that gives you the opportunity to link his air S2. So it's a little bit harder to work into his combos. But the reward, obviously, like getting to slump your opponent, tumble them into the corner, opens up an opportunity to activate Unbreakable. These are all things that Braum really, really wants.
All right, so then when they're tumbled in the corner too, then like down S2 is like an easy setup for them, right?
Yeah, that should work.
Yeah.
That's not typically what I go for.
I'm sure it can be more optimal. That's just like kind of where my
so
brain's going.
S2, the crouch S2, the timing will be really, really tight. So going for S2, it'll still give you Unbreakable.
Okay. Yeah.
So that tends to be pretty strong for
All
Braum
right.
as well. So Iceborne, Great Swing is our final S2 special, and that'll get us into our supers for Braum. The first being his S1 super, which is Glacial Fissure. And I'll just show you this at mid-screen. So if you do down, S1, Braum slams his shield down, and then we get this wave of ice that carries your opponent pretty much the entire length of the screen, if you want to try it out.
That's the one there. I like that off this, big old armor move.
Yeah. It's really, really strong. Braum slams his shield.
let's lower the gain a bit. All right.
down, and then we get this wave of ice that carries your opponent pretty much the entire length of the screen, if you want to try it out.
That's the one there. I like that off this, big old armor move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, really strong. So obviously this is, like you used it off of S2, works really well in that situation. It's also pretty strong as an OTG. So if you're to knock your opponent down, you can go into S1 Super, pick him up, and it'll carry him pretty much the length of the screen.
So that's heavy, heavy?
Yep, heavy, heavy. So neutral, heavy, neutral, heavy.
On that
Oh,
carry.
you're in the pulse fuse, actually. Yeah, so with
Oh,
pulse...
I picked the wrong fuse?
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Okay.
That's totally fine. The pulse fuse, it'll...
Oh, that is our auto combo fuse.
Right.
So
Because
if I were
our-
keeping the jam on heavy, it would give me an auto combo.
Yep.
That's the power of the pulse fuse. I don't need to know how to be the best player to get a combo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Pulse fuse is sort of our
And
way
sorry,
to...
I guess we're showing a super ahead of time
No,
here.
it's all good.
There we go.
It's a little teaser.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with Pulse Fuse, you won't be able to do all of Brahms' heavy chains, at least in this version of the build. We're going to be working on that going forward. But yeah, so I'll just have to show you those when I go through the command lines. So yeah, so we have Glacial Fissure. It carries the opponent pretty much to the edge of the screen. It does really, really good damage. This is one of the most damaging level 1 supers in the entire game. But it also clears projectiles. So you can see to use this as, hey, if things are getting really crazy during the match and you just want to like chill out and reset to neutral.
Yeah, so I could be like, okay, I need to breathe for a second.
Yep.
And then this kind of buys.
Yeah, in this case we have
Yeah,
but let's say I'm putting you under a lot of pressure. I'm like trying to hit you with Darius' S2. And you just want me to take it easy.
And while this is happening, I'll put you back, I can kind of gain forward space and momentum as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that could, especially because Braum so much wants
How far did Darius S2 go?
Yeah, in this case we have
Yeah,
but let's say I'm putting you under a lot of pressure. I'm like trying to hit you with Darius' S2. And you just want me to take it easy.
And while this is happening, I'll put you back, I can kind of gain forward space and momentum as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that could, especially because Braum so much wants to like utilize his assists.
Yeah.
This gives you time also to kill time on the assist timer.
Yes, okay, yeah, that's a good idea, okay.
So that's a more like niche use of this move, but that can really, really be helpful.
But once again, if you're, say, got the really annoying assist with the shield or whatever, and you have the 2x assist, so then you buy more time, and then you can immediately go back into it and just keep doing whatever, say like Ari or whatever with annoying assist, right? Controls the screen, okay.
Yep. So let's talk a little bit then about his next super. So this is his S2 super.
All right.
It's called the Heart of the Freljord, which is Braum's like title in the MOBA if you're a fan of League. So this is a short cinematic hit. So Braum does an uppercut if the attack hits.
And break up.
Braum will sort of like throw his shield down and like impale the opponent in the ground. It'll freeze up, and then he'll do the big stomp at the end to break both the shield and the opponent.
My understanding is it's invincible?
Sort of.
Okay.
So it's not quite invincible. It has a hit of armor. So if let's say if you wake up with a super. Oh, whoops. Sorry, I hit you a little too fast there.
Oh, I'm mashing, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, we'll try it one more time. No, no worries.
I don't know, I'm bad.
Yeah, so it had one hit of armor.
Okay.
So the base version has a hit of armor. With decent high startup, so like you can sometimes safely jab pressure this depending on the character.
I was gonna say, as you know, a scumbag player.
Yep.
When I did get to play him just a little bit, I didn't get to play him too much last night, but down back and then punish me after I do the charge.
Sorry, you do what?
Down back.
Yep.
And then punish me after I do L charge.
Yeah. I know exactly where this is going.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I imagine scumbag a few people with that. Yeah.
And it's Yep.
And so
I know exactly where this is going.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I imagine scumbag a few people with that. Yeah.
And especially like if you're in the double down fuse.
Yeah.
So I'm playing double down right now. I'll have that could really hit you for a big punish. If I were like, I have you block this, I go into Heart of the Freljord. This makes contact. Double down into Darius.
Oh yeah. That'll do some
You're
damage.
eating a ton of damage. You put the bleed debuff on your opponent.
Fully set up.
Sure.
Braum, like I remember when we played last year, I'm like, wow, Darius is really big, and Braum's a full head taller than him. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think, and also I gotta give a shout out to Blair Armitage. She's our 3D modeler. Fantastic artist, and she made Braum's model. She just did such a good job. Yeah, Lowry's bigger than Darius too.
Yeah.
It's funny. A lot of people talk about Darius they're like, oh, 2XKO has a lot of big bodies. And they include Darius in that conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually think of Darius as more of a like aggressive Shoto archetype.
Yeah, he's definitely like a down to basics character in my time with him.
Right.
Like no flash, like let's just get into it, you know?
Right,
like,
right. So I always sort of think of them as a slight variation of that archetype. But that's that's for another time. We're focusing on Braum.
Oh, and I got the bleed effect on me too. Yeah. So
Yeah.
That effect's pretty good from my time with it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's great. And we can talk about fuses a little bit later, but Braum, I think in Double Down, you talked about 2x assist being really good for Braum.
Wait, so aren't Braum's block strings going to go crazy? Because a point of synergy with Darius is like you need to get something with good block strings, right? To apply the wound debuff properly enough. So it's like Braum with the block string into Winter's Bite, get plus on block, reset the pressure, Darius does something, Braum does something, and then next thing you know, it's so much chip damage. I'm seeing this synergy from here.
I think Braum in Double Down is also very, very strong. His specials,
I can see that, yeah.
yeah, they can complement a lot of other supers in the game. And my hope is for players too. It's sort of like classic fighting game shapes. Like we have like the wave of ice going full screen. It should be tools that players, I'm hoping, are familiar with.
And the Darius as a shooter thing is interesting to me as well, because I'm basically a shooter main at this point throughout multiple fighting games. Like Luke in SF6, Belial in Grand Blue, Chell in Rising Thunder, Kai in Guilty Gear Strive. Basically, I main shooters at this point. And Guile is a Zona-ish, shooter-ish in SF5. Like, that's even more interesting to me.
Or it's easier for them to pick
I
up.
know a couple of people who are used to a bunch of pillars reaching high up and going across the screen, right?
Yeah. So that's our hope, that these moves are going to be easy for players to use.
All right.
So that's part of the Freljord. The only other thing I want to mention for this attack is that it, when you do this attack in Unbreakable, it actually gains different properties. So I'll get Unbreakable really quick. You talked about, it's invincible, like there are questions about the invincibility.
Yeah.
So it has one hit of armor in the base version.
Yeah.
But if I do this move in Unbreakable, it's fully hyper armored during the startup. So unlimited hits of armor.
So no matter what you're tossing in, I'm going to armor through everything.
Yeah, you're just going to plow through it. But it also does more damage, but it'll consume the buff at the end.
That's only fair, really.
Yeah. A small price to pay for power. So let's move on then to Braum's final super attack, or his ultimate rather. This is Snacks time. Right. So Rufamanga, do you want to do down S2 for
Raging
viewers?
Poro.
Yeah, perfect. So this is pretty much a direct call out to Legends of Runeterra. We have a bunch of different elements from, like, I love card games in general. I love Legends of Runeterra. I thought that team did an incredible job with the League IP and the Runeterra IP, bringing it to life. So in this super, it's a invincible attack. It hits OTG. Braum tosses out Poro Snacks, which we all know Poros love Poro Snacks.
They love them.
And then the Heart of the Fluff comes rolling in and just, beats the crap out of the opponent for big damage.
And that's one thing people understand, appreciate about the Poros. The Freljord's a pretty rough place, right? Like, you need people like Braum and all that to survive. And if these little guys survive and thrive in the Freljord, think how strong they actually are.
They do.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. There's some people
Sure,
who say that even Poros are virtually indestructible, despite their cute appearance.
Like, he bounced off Braum, he ain't feeling it, he's laughing him off.
Yeah, I love that. There's someone on, we had someone on social media talk about what happens if two Poros hit each other.
Oh.
So I'm going to neutral jump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll neutral jump and then I'll toss one.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I just think
there we go.
That was perfectly in sync,
Yeah,
actually.
that's perfectly in sync. That worked out. There we go.
But yeah, so there's many ways that Braum can utilize Poros on the kit.
Well, then, wait a second, then. Jump, toss Poro again.
Okay.
Oh, wait, they hit the ground. They don't cancel each other out like that.
That does not get us through the Poro
So
loophole.
the trick is you got to get the Poro not to touch the ground, and then you can just keep tossing them.
Or you have to do, like
No,
what you
actually, toss
discovered.
one more Poro my way.
Yeah, sure. Oh, you want to
Can you parry the Poro?
You can parry the Poro.
Well, can we? There we go, okay.
Yeah, and they just bounce off.
That's a high-level technique. But yeah, so there you go. Get your Poro parrying. Moment 37 going on.
I would love that. Maybe eventually we can do like a Poro Stampede Super, and there will be like many Poros falling on you.
We'll see.
Yeah, maybe next year. So that's our final move in the super and ultimate suite for Braum. But let's go through some of his unique normals.
All right.
Or I guess, or what would you rather do? Would you rather go through his command moves, or would you rather talk about what Unbreakable does for his specials?
Well, I think Unbreakable is the main event. So let's talk about the command moves real quick.
Sure. Yeah, we can talk about his command normals. So we have his down, forward, medium. This is Braum's overhead. It's called concussive blow.
Yes, I remember that from the trailer. That is an overhead's overhead.
Yeah, I love this animation.
There is no miscommunication. Not like say of some older games where this would be a low, you know?
yeah, of course. But this is Braum's overhead. I want to give shout out to Thomas Wynn. He's the animator for Braum. So we have Thomas Wynn and David Hahn. Thomas does the gameplay animations, and then David does the cinematic animations. And I think they just did an incredible job animating Braum. I think he really comes to life with the animation, so I just wanted to give those two guys a shout out. Concussive blow is my favorite overhead in the game. I just love how he sort of like scales over the shield.
Yeah, he's like going over the shield to get you.
And bonks you.
Yeah.
And what's really kind of unique about this overhead is that it is special cancelable.
Oh, no.
So for Braum, this is really important for Braum.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can tack on damage. You can use one of his really high damaging specials, like Winter's Bite is really strong there. But the main thing I like to use this for, once again, we're going back to this idea that Braum creates opportunities to sort of catch your opponent off guard and surprise them. Using concussive blow, you can actually special cancel into Iceborne Smash.
Okay.
So now your overhead is also giving you Unbreakable,
Okay.
which is like, yeah, if you want to try it out real quick for Braum.
All right, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now you sort of like caught me off guard in my block string and, or sorry, in your block string.
So yeah, you can do it in the middle of block strings as well. Okay.
Yeah. It's a really effective tool for Braum. So it gives him opportunities to like sneak more Unbreakable activations. We don't want players to have to work too hard to get Unbreakable. So let's move on then to our next unique move. So this is Revolving Door. Fun fact, this actually used to be a special move for Braum, and we were like, we think we can make it work as a normal. So this is his forward heavy.
All right.
So this has really good range for Braum.
You can hold it as well.
Yeah, you can also hold
substantial.
it. So in our game, there's a mechanic, so 2xK has a mechanic called Impact Strike. So if you charge a heavy, this will like guard crush the opponent. So if you down back this and block it, you'll see you kind of get like a unique block animation. You get staggering back. That'll shut off your defensive options, so you can't push block or retreating guard. And if that wasn't enough, if shutting off the defensive options wasn't enough, you can actually dash cancel this attack. So
when the pressure's on, keep going.
Yeah. So
now on hit, is it dash cancel only on block or on hit?
On both.
Oh, on both. Okay.
Yeah. So we're sort of treating this as like, hey, you got your opponent to like sit there, you motivated them to do nothing.
Well, I think the different fuse give me the. I'm trying to button dash after and give me
right.
That's fine.
Yeah. So the thing I wanted to talk about with that is Braum's forward heavy. If you charge it, this is another impact strike for Braum. This also counts as an impact strike.
So this is also dash cancelable as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So really technical Braum players, they can utilize like different specials out of this attack. It's a really high damaging move for Braum. You can even link two together. Let's see if I can get it. Oh yeah, you can link two together. I love that combo.
That's a. Oh, I got a great combo. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah. So if you super jump cancel that, you can, and I'll show you a little bit more of that.
All right.
So that's Revolving Door, and it's chargeable. So this is a nice tool for Braum as well. Too. We talked about using Stand Behind Me to sort of like get your opponent to hesitate, get them off their rhythm in neutral. This is another way too. You can poke with this attack, or if you want to be kind of a bully, you can just charge it, get them to hesitate, and then either hit them with it or get them to block it and dash cancel in.
Okay.
And then of course, once you dash cancel in, you have all sorts of nasty things you can do. You can command grab.
The second I get you to stay still, that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah. The Mighty Poro's coming down with the eye patch. So that's Revolving Door. And if you press it a second time, you'll do one more. Okay. So this is one of our, in the Braum reveal video, we sort of talked about how his heavies all chain into each other.
Yes.
And
like every heavy can, at least is a 2 chain, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So we're hoping to for some of that identity for Braum is we want him to be easy to pick up and play. If you're a new player, you can sort of gravitate towards Braum.
Yeah.
And be like, cool, I can rock with these sort of like fundamental core moves for Braum.
Yeah.
And that's enough for a game plan to get me started.
Absolutely.
So this is one of the moves that lets you do just that. So if you do forward heavy, you could do the revolving door into one more. And that gives you a really favorable launch. So if you're in the corner, you can follow up into some of his special moves.
And that's a nice high juggle there too.
Yeah, absolutely. Mid-screen, you're not able to do this, but instead, it tees up and assist moment.
Yeah.
So that's really good for Braum too. This is a normal we see players using a lot. Really, really good normal for Braum.
And so, being a command normal, I can do chain into regular heavy, and then still do the command normal after the fact.
Yeah,
which
you
I can't
can.
because of the fuse right now. But
Yep.
yeah.
If you commit to 2 in a row, so if you do the heavy, or let's say the forward heavy, your chain's going to stop there. You have to go into a special move at that point.
Okay, yeah.
But you can freely switch in between his crouching heavy, so stand heavy, crouch heavy, forward heavy. I see our more advanced players, they try to juice the lemon as much as they can and get all the heavies involved.
Yeah.
So that's his forward heavy. That's revolving door into one more. Let's talk about his next command normal, or his next unique move. So this is knock knock. This is his heavy into heavy.
Yeah.
This one, do you have this one on Pulse? I think it'll make you do forward heavy next.
Yeah, no.
Okay, great. So I'll just show then for heavy into heavy. So knock knock, it gives you a couple different benefits. It's a really nice way to tack on damage to a short combo. So let's say I'm a new player and I just want to do light, medium, heavy, heavy. We get decent damage and knocks your opponent down.
All right.
So it's a really, if you're either new or maybe there's lots going on and you just quickly
Alright, so as I'm going to end now, let me try raiding somebody. Try out a raid. Who's streaming Granblue now?
Air jump normals right
Boston
here.
Blue Beat.
Alright, so I'm going to raid Laid Way Back. Alright. Stream manager. Going to chat. First time raiding. Alright, good night. It work.
leader advantage.
The other
right
ones,
here.
though.
Builds again, IGN. Wow, what an activation that is. Really a statement. He wants to win this round. Yeah, that's cheap. Come on, that's how cheap is that?
Right, you have to block pretty much forever, and it's a throw.
Yeah.
It's a regular throw.
You ain't teching the throw there.
Do they still make patches for this game? For Third Strike? I doubt they do.
Did technical?
I'm pretty sure you would have been nerfed a long time ago. That's at least it's super.
Oh, that's
jumping
it.
out. Look at that. He's jumping out, getting out of the corner for free.
Fate Unlimited Codes? I've never
Right, you
played
have
that.
the air to air, just like that. Misses the back heavy punch. A little bit too slow there.
Ooh, just at the boots as well. Dash up. Gen Agent activation. Back throw. This is huge.
Alright, so
Yeah, that was my big issue with Impact.
Successfully defended.
The sound quality, there's no oomph behind the hits.
Doesn't bite on
Really,
it.
really no impact for a game that's called Nen Impact. And also, it kind of looked pretty, pretty ugly.
For the Genijin. He got it.
There it is. Yeah, into the block string as well. A little bit of a gap.
10,
Oh
9,
my God.
8,
Defense
7,
from MOV.
6,
So good. He's doing such a good job. He's not going for crouch tech, he's going for stand tech instead.
3, 2, 1. Alright.
He didn't do
Bro,
it.
a
He's
bear.
waiting. Look, he's in the little buffer. Activate.
Nice.
Super.
I hope that's
No,
the case.
Doesn't want to go.
Man, he just skips the screen like that.
Yeah, ice skating. Nice tech on the grab. 20
Hey, Vaughn,
seconds
thanks for the raid.
left.
What's up, bro?
Oh my God.
That was sick.
Yes.
15
Hope you guys
seconds.
doing well.